Holy shit, Trump is truly working to dismantle the Federal Reserve. Now, the important thing to understand is financial education. The Federal Reserve was created in 1913. That's not federal, nor is it reserve. And these decisions that are happening behind the scenes will affect you dramatically as an American. In 1913, the Federal Reserve was created, which again is not part of the government. We for a long time thought it was part of the government. It's not federal, nor is it reserve. They control job markets and money supply, and they do it through interest rates. Now think about that. Study who created the Federal Reserve. It's a group of bankers that control our money supply and interest rates. Well, who makes money off of interest rates? The banks. In 1913, they also stopped tariffing other countries. We had very low federal income tax. So they created the Federal Reserve in 1913. That's not federal nor is it reserved, by a group of bankers that control our money supply and job markets. And they started taxing us, the people, instead of other countries. So now that takes me back to modern day times right now and the moves that Trump is making. Now, this is just my opinion. You got to do your own research. I'm going to share you my opinion, my research. What I encourage you to do is take sovereignty and look for yourself. And I'm going to share with you what I did to protect my family and how we're building wealth, understanding the systematic shift that's happening in the financial system. So now, as we sit, 7 years ago, Trump told you you're going to be on an even playing field monetarily before you know it. I've showed you the video over and over again. And now he's giving us the hints and clues in plain sight of what they're doing. So Trump is working to put pressure on Jerome Powell, and I almost promise you that he's going to bring the Federal Reserve underneath the government. So now he's putting pressure on Jerome Powell to lower interest rates. Now remember, when they lower interest rates in a debt-based society, your dollar becomes weaker. And if you don't understand what's happened since 1913 when they were created to 2025, your dollar's collapsed 96 to 97% and has about 3% purchasing power. So now you're sitting in a dollar that's 3% purchasing power, and you've been taught by your grandparents and your parents to save your pennies, put it in the bank. Well, think about that. When you're saving your cash, which is trash, in the bank, what are they doing? They're making interest. Federal Reserve was created in 1913. That's not federal nor reserve. They control the money supply and job markets through interest rates. And why would they do that? Because that's how they make money. So they make you go to work. They make you trade time for money. They pay you in someone else's debt. You put your debt in the bank and they lend it out and make money where you work your ass off and stay poor. So if you don't keep borrowing, if you don't keep buying cars and houses, the American dream, and you don't keep burying yourself in debt, the system breaks. So Trump sees that that is happening and they're delicately balancing this. So hopefully the American people don't get wrecked. But if you don't understand how inflation works, and when they lower interest rates, your dollar becomes worth less and the elites go into assets to beat inflation. And when they raise interest rates, the elites sell off their assets and go back into the dollars just to teeter-totter.